So you guys are asking about bees. We've got our bee box we're building right now. This is going to be a long hive, and you can see what we're doing is we're taking reclaimed fencing, cutting it up to use it for all of our siding. The cedar is going to last a long time, plus it's going to have a roof over it, so it'll have even added protection. But we have a wall on the inside that's really tightly sealed for the bees. And then just outside that wall, we've taken styrofoam and placed it all around the hive, so that way it's going to have this added layer of protection for heat. And then we're putting the outer boards on it like this all the way across, so it'll have a really nice look. This way, in deeper temperatures, your bees are protected, and in the summer, they'll be protected from getting too hot. They really love this, so if you have a chance and you have a way to do the same type of thing, the bees are really going to be thanking you. And we like these longer boxes because this holds enough frames for a full hive for us, and then we're going to be able to lift the lid comfortably, walk up to access all of our frames. Here's a good example. So this frame will sit down in here. Our bees will build combs that will go down below our frames, which is fine, but we want a little bit of an area because we want a way to clean this out. Anyway, we'll check back in and let you guys see some of the progress when we get done. Maybe when we put the bees in, that'll be exciting.
All right, so in this portion of the video, you're going to see me unboxing the bees. This is a small nook I picked up for about 150 bucks. I know there's cheaper nooks out there, but this is a really good swarm. You can tell just by how much activity there is. There's a lot of bees. And it's a 5-frame box. I'm just slowly separating them. There's not a lot of room. The bees are going to be, in the way of pulling the frames out. So I'm trying not to crush any bees if I can. I'm just going to give them a little bit of smoke, and then after that, I'm just kind of, just checking them out a little bit. They're really stuck together, so I found a way to pry them apart. And once I get them apart, I'm just going to open them up and look at each frame as I put it in and see if I can spot the queen. I didn't see the queen, but I'm pretty sure she's in there, and I really didn't want to waste too much time searching for her right now. If the nook doesn't work out, that's not a big deal. I can get another one. But on this one, what was really kind of upsetting is that these bees had been boxed for too long and not allowed to get out at all. So I knew they were just super thirsty, and on top of that, they're really stressing out if they get locked in somewhere for a long period of time. They literally will sit and chew at the box trying to get out, and they'd been doing that all day. So I got the bees last night and then started building the box and finished the box about, I think it was around 2 or 3 o'clock, and then finally had everything ready to go. So I wasn't anticipating on getting the bees the day I did. I was thinking they were going to come a little bit later in the week and I would have time to finish the box up, kind of going slow about it. Anyway, if you live in a place where there's bears or any larger mammals that try to mess with the hive, this is nice because it's up off the ground. It's about 4 feet off the ground, which is pretty nice. But if you had bears in your area, this hive would not work for you. You would have to put it up on a far more secure stand. It's standing literally on 4 1-by pressure treated wood, so it's not going to be significantly sound. Here, after I finish up with the hives, I'm just going to adjust the boxes and put the frames in the right distance apart from each other and make sure everything's going well. And the bees find the entrance like so quick, because the way we set up our hives, we actually use round holes, 3 round holes actually, and we put them with a guard in front. Now the guard is supposed to keep wasps, yellow jackets out of the hive, and it seems to work pretty well. We didn't have any robbing that we noticed, with any of the hives so far. And so it's an idea where I got from a guy, his name's Sean Gremmer, just to give him a little bit of props. He came up with the idea, I think, of putting a guard in front of their entrance. And I think it works pretty well. I've noticed that the bees seem to enjoy it. But what I like is with the 3 holes, it seems that the bees have enough egress, so that way they're not on top of each other. But also, I like that if I needed to, I could reduce the entries by plugging one of the holes. And so you can just plug it simply with a cork or something if you wanted to, but anything like that would work. So this hive that we built, all the ventilation is inside of the top portion. So all of the air either comes in through the entry and exits through the top. In the top, you'll see right next to my head, there's 5 or 6 pretty good holes. And then the kids just alerted me that our cat was in the cab of my big truck. And she's not supposed to be in there, but it's not a big deal. So here I'm almost done. I'm just arranging the frames. And I'm gonna dump the rest of the bees into the major portion of the hive. And I'm just going to turn them upside down and give them a nice little shake. And that is enough to get most of the bees out. And I'm going to probably have to do it a few times just to make sure I get them all out of there. But I haven't had any trouble with the bees really stinging anyone or causing any problems. I put these off to the outer portion of my garden. And in my garden, where they're standing up right now, they are at the end of my garden facing east with a little bit of southern exposure on. So it's not quite southeast, but mostly east. Now I've got the bees out of the nook box, and I'm just going to quickly close up the box as soon as I get all the bees cleaned out. They kind of found their way into some of the segments of the box, so I have to unfold it and kind of mess with them. I'm just trying not to kill anybody, I'm trying to keep it as gentle as possible. I found a little cluster on the ground, so I picked all of them up and put them into the nest. And I see a few other things going on that are still stuck in the box, so I'm just getting it all out of there as much as I can. So once I clean all the bees out, I'm gonna try to keep them from being able to get back in there. Sometimes they will try to climb back into your nook box just because, they can smell the original pheromones that are already used to the box. And at this point, I've pretty much cleared them all out. I'm just gonna put it back together and replace the plug if I haven't already done that. And then set it kind of close to the hive, just in case the bees are familiar with its look. They'll head toward it and eventually figure out where everybody else is. And this style of hive is really nice for me. I'm a taller person, so I'm able to get in and inspect the entire hive all kind of at one time, where a lot of times your stackable hives, the upper portion of the hive, the top box so to speak, will be completely full of honey, and it could be 50 to 70 pounds, and you have to lift that entire box off of the rest of the stack to be able to access the brood or any of the other portions of the hive. And that can be pretty intense if you're not somebody who can actually lift that much weight. But anyway, I think this hive turned out really nice, and I'm going to give you guys a close-up of it tomorrow after they settle down. When they're being moved and they're stressed out, I like to suit up, and I know some people will make fun of me for wearing a bee suit, but I think it's a good precaution when you're just changing the hive out. Well, anyway, that's enough. I didn't get stung, so that's a good thing. So see you next time.